From being known as up-and-coming fishing legends to shoving weights and fillets down walleyes' throats, the story of how Jacob Runyan and Chase Cominsky started winning was always fishy, to say the least. That's right, dudes and dudettes. We not only have fraudster mobsters, scoundrel pastors, even the damn UFO summoner, that have all been covered on this channel. But I have never expected to find cheating in a goddamn fishing tournament. Like, really? What these fishermen did to take the win in the Lake Erie Walleye Trail fishing tournament is downright pathetic. Jake and Chase conned fellow fishermen out of a lot of money throughout their various wins between 2021 and 2022 that sparked questions throughout the fishing community pertaining to the sudden tournament wins of Runyan and Cominsky. Not only would these guys draw a court case on themselves, they'd also shun themselves from the fishing community. According to the Associated Press, while cheating in fishing tournaments is rare, those who have risked it have found themselves severely fined and even jailed. In tournament fishing circles, a cheating angler becomes a pariah in a sport where competitors rely on their reputations and on friendly sponsors for expense money and fishing tackle. Ladies and gentlemen, grab a filet-o-fish from McDonald's or shit, grab some weights, and welcome to the Jacob Runyan and Chase Cominsky fishing scandal. "2021 would be a memorable year for Jacob Runyan and Chase Cominsky, as they would compete in various fishing competitions known as the Lake Erie Walleye Trail Tournament. Though they'd soon become legends by the end of 2021, March of that year would launch the start of their fishing partnership. Though in this particular tournament, the boys wouldn't even place in the top 51, but would have still earned small prizes. It seemed as if they stepped up their training on their off time, as they would actually place in a tournament in Port Clinton on April 17, 2021. The two would place 59th with their top 5 walleye weighing in at a total of 21.50 pounds, in comparison to winners Scott and Michael Boswell, with their top 5 weighing in close to 35 pounds. Although placing low on the totem pole, Cominsky and Runyan continued their rigorous training, as almost a month later on May 15th they would place themselves a little bit higher. Jake and Chase would place 13th in the Huron tournament with their fish weighing in at 36.25 pounds, which almost seems like luck, as in the next competition on June 5th, the men would get 48th place with their fish weighing in at close to 19 pounds, with that tournament paying out nearly $23,000 in cash and prizes to 74 Lorraine teams. Why is this important, Scotch? Well, Jake and Chase were still placing fairly low in these tournaments, and it would be highly suspicious of two mediocre fishermen to all of a sudden place higher up on that stripper pole. They would achieve this feat not once, but multiple times. September 18th would mark a turning point for the duo, as they would finally win a team tournament with their fish weighing in at an impressive 34 pounds, beating the runner-ups by only 5 pounds. Now, it's safe to say that while they were placing low in prior tournaments, it's very likely that they got their shit together and finally got the good old saying of teamwork makes the dream work. The pair finally found their rhythm and would also take the cake in the Cleveland tournament, just a few months later knocking everyone out of the ballpark with their 5 walleye pushing 43 pounds, 8 pounds higher than the runner-ups. With an impressive ending for Cominsky and Runyan in the year of 2021, 2022 was bound to be an even better year for Jake and Chase. The boys either smartened up or just had a rough start, as the first walleye tournament would be held in April of 2022, with the guys placing 15th in that competition. In late April, they would place in 6th, 9th place in May, and would pop back up in the first place in the Lorraine tournament in June, with the Lake Erie Walleye Trail tournament stating on their website, Team of the Year contenders Cominsky and Runyan set off tourney week to find the biggest fish Lake Erie was willing to give up, which they knew was going to lead to long hours and a lot of fish. Additionally, with the national average of gas prices at the pump tipping the scales at over $5 a gallon, Cominsky knew that could play a factor in where he could concentrate most of his time. Unwilling to give out the exact details, I was able to get out of the team that they searched from Fairport to Avon and were able to find a bite that most overlooked. This time of year, finding a small trend that could yield a slightly different result could be just the edge you need come tourney day. Cominsky told me that they ran the same leads all tourney day and the fish they caught were feeding on gobbies. Runyan disclosed that they ran a special bandit that was custom painted and named after his stepson. Cominsky and Runyan were able to sack up 34.90 pounds to take home their first championship of the season. Late July would see the men pull off another victory in the Ashtabula Open Division, with the guys clearing close to $14,000, and in September gaining another victory in the Geneva Open. The next competition, held at Gordon Park later that month, would cause a stir within the fishing competitors of that tournament, alongside the fishing community as a whole.
I gotta tell you, you gotta beat 16 some pounds. 33.91, 33.91, your new leaders, locking it in, team of the year, definitely team of the year champions. Round of applause, you got Chase Cominsky, Jake Runyan. We need pictures of those fish over here, stick around a while. TJ and Kevin Mowry coming up the scales, they got 3. That it?
We got weights and fish!
There we go!
Out of here!
Every single fish.
Every tournament, one every tournament. We can't do. I mean, we all do it. You know what? Hey,
Look at that. Jesus Christ.
A filleted fish, look at it. A fillet, it's a walleye fillet.
The tournament director Jason Fisher was immediately suspicious about the weight of the fish for their size, and then felt something hard in their bellies. That's when he decided to cut the fish open and discovered the hidden weights. Organizers of the tournament immediately disqualified Runyan and Cominsky and contacted police and state wildlife officers, who collected evidence, interviewed witnesses, and will now forward a report to the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office. The video, which has ultimately amassed millions of views throughout all platforms, would clearly expose the cheaters in real time and even had Chase Cominsky of Hermitage, Pennsylvania, quickly retreat to his truck and lock the doors. Now, while this tournament's prize was worth close to $30,000, it's safe to assume that all of their earnings from prior competitions were well over the hundreds of thousands. I was first introduced to this story after watching a YouTube short of some really pissed off fishermen, and I was hooked like a fish. Jacob Runyan and Chase Cominsky's fraudulent actions were taken very seriously, that eventually resulted in the pair pleading guilty to charges of cheating.
I just want to apologize to you, Your Honor. I want to apologize to my family, my friends, the fishing community. I feel embarrassed, super embarrassed. It was that bad action that we made. It's one we're going to have to live with the rest of my life. One my kids are probably going to end up seeing growing up that really hurts. I wish I could take it back.
I too would like to apologize to Jason Fisher, Luke, all the other anglers, everyone was affected by this. Again, like Jason said, this is embarrassing, ashamed, most ignorant decision I've ever made in my life. And I apologize to my family as well. They were always rooting for me. And I'm sorry to everybody affected. Thank you.
Thank you.
Though the men seemed genuinely remorseful according to the judge's statements, comments under their sentencing video would state otherwise. It is laughable when the lawyer speaks about his client feeling remorse. The only remorse that this guy feels is the remorse of his being caught in the act. If they were not caught at the time and place they would still be out there doing the same thing over and over and hoping to never have to deal with being caught. Another comment stating, "It's unfortunate that the prior wins cannot be proven as fraudulent, but anyone that might say they didn't previously cheat should consider this. If you had won 8 tournaments without cheating, why would you cheat on the 9th?
You guys too have skills, but like so many other common criminals who come before me, you chose to use those skills in a nefarious way. On count 4, I give you a 30-day jail sentence, which I'll suspend, which I do genuinely believe that you gentlemen are remorseful. And so while I will give you each a committee control sanction, I'm going to start you off with a 10-day jail sentence. My deputies are in the courtroom, Mr. Brown.
Though one can disagree with the court's decision, the guys fessed up to their shady antics, did the time the court saw fit, and will likely end up choosing different career paths in the years to come.